Hey everybody, Stippling's on. You can hear from the background that I'm at my usual haunt, at my usual bar, getting some work done. Doing something different this time. I'm brought along my camera stand. It's a flex camera stand. So this way I have like both hands. So I can hold the drawing and work, because lately it's been an issue with trying to hold the camera and get the work done. I haven't been happy with the overall results, I know. And what's nice is because of the phones having the stability option, I can stipple, and then when I'm done, even though this is a flex stand so it shakes, what I can do then is I have the ability now to just hit the button to stabilize the image. So I'm just working away here. So I'd like to give a shout out to Dan Plegel and his channel. He did a stream last night. Many of you might know him as Dan Art. It was a really nice stream. I was working on my Inglorious Rex drawing while the stream was going on, and they were all, but it was nice. He had multiple artists on, and they were all working. And then he had one person who wasn't drawing. I don't believe he does draw. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And what he was doing is he was talking to the guys while they were working so they could focus on what they're doing. And he was the one who was actually monitoring the chat. So if somebody said something, he could point it out to everybody else, and then everybody else could just comment on it. What I really liked about it was it had the feel and reminded me of when I was younger and I'd be in school, and after you'd have the assignment provided, you'd sit in class and work on it, and it had like a studio feel to it. That's one of the reasons why I like working here, is it has a semi-studio feel to it. So I really did enjoy it. So I was like, I want to give them a shout out. They don't get a lot of viewers. I would encourage everybody to check them out. It was just very entertaining. I actually prefer that over Shane and the Ballers last night. I started out watching them, but it was like the same old. And while they're entertaining, what I do like is these type of streams where you can just chill out and listen to guys just like yourself talk. The one guy who was doing the moderating, he has a daughter who's 6, and he introduced her to Star Wars when she was like 2, and she's a real big fan of the first trilogy, and how she just listens to Star Wars and she knows it line by line, and it was just very entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot. So I just feel it's best to give them a good shout out. So right now I've got a lot of the detail areas done, and now's the point where I need to go in and get the darks put in. So there's an issue going on, which many people are aware of, where Indiegogo is shadow banning creators. The problem is not that they're shadow banning, is that Indiegogo is playing stupid. Okay, numerous creators have gone in, and where they know code, or someone who's a fan of their work knows code, and is going in and finding the evidence showing that it's being intentionally coded so that way it doesn't show up and you actually have to have the link to pull the campaign up. How I'm going to be tagging Shane's campaign to this is because I'll be going on to Twitter and then copying his link and adding it to the video. Normally in the past, what I could do is just go to Indiegogo, go to the campaign, copy the URL, and put that in. But that's not the way you can do it right now. And what's worse is those that are doing campaigns and have active campaigns, they have called their contacts in Indiegogo. They have emailed Indiegogo, and they're being given kind of like a generic, if they are getting a response. If they're getting a response, it's a generic, we are working on it response. This is quite troubling because it really comes down to, and this is where you and I as creators need to step up and always be sharing these links to these campaigns, such as I'm going to be sharing Shane's campaign link. Dan Plegel, he has Goblin Girl going on right now, so I'll make sure and I share his with link in the campaign. But it's important that we have to do more on our end, which we shouldn't have to. That's the sad thing. We shouldn't have to be adding so much, putting so much work into sharing this out because Indiegogo is not taking action. I feel that Indiegogo knows what's going on, but they're playing dumb. They're playing dumb, like, oh, just don't respond to them. Give them a generic response that it's known we're working on it, and just don't take action on it. Because eventually they'll give up and they'll go away. That's what their attitude is. And it shows how not just the big campaigners, but the little guy needs a platform that respects us and respects our work. The problem is that in our eyes on Indiegogo, crowdfunding comics is doing very well. And each year there's more and more artists that are having campaigns that are over $1,000. In the long run though, overall, with all the campaigns and all the genres that Indiegogo has at their disposal to collect money on, comic books aren't much. Comic books could leave Indiegogo tomorrow and they honestly would barely notice the loss in revenue. Granted, there are some people like Ethan and other campaigners that are doing well over $500,000. But overall, a lot of these guys, they just don't pull in enough for them to care. And that's the sad thing, is we need a platform that cares. And that's the reason why, love them or hate them, I think it's even more important now for Ethan to have a platform specifically just for crowdfunding comic books. If we were to leave Indiegogo, the only way they would even notice us gone is if we were able to take the gaming community with us. Okay, the gamers, like Magic the Gathering style, D&D style, those types of games, Warhammer, any of those types of creators, if they were all to leave also, guess what? They would then take notice because they bring in a lot of money. They bring a lot of eyeballs in. And that's where it's like, some ways, as us as crowdfunders, we need to be getting into the gaming community and interacting with them to show them, hey, what we have available, so that we can have them supporting us, not just backing us, but also spreading the word of these campaigns. That's where, for us, I think this next step is being a part of their community, because the two communities are very close to each other in entertainment. It's more about having an imagination to take the image that's in front of us and expand upon it with our mind, expanding on the story. That's really what a lot of the gaming role-playing community does, is they don't read comics, but they do essentially the same thing, where they live in an imaginative world, and they interject themselves into it, and they have fun with that means over watching a TV show, watching a movie. And if there is a genre of movie that they like, they grasp onto it. And in that community also is just as disappointed as the rest of us with what is going on in society. So I think that's where the next step to really expand crowdfunding comics is to get with them. That's one of the reasons why I think that the Dwarves versus Junkman, Dwarves versus Lion, they are taking it to the next step of getting that crowd and including the comic book genre involved into it. I think if we were able to get more into that, it would help us greatly. Specifically, if you have a campaign, let's say you've got a horror comic book, and you were to get involved with a role-playing community that focuses on just the horror monsters, they would be more like they'd be more involved and excited with your project. Just as if you had a like this Nat from the Natverse, if he was involved in, let's say, a science fiction space odyssey role-playing game, they'd be more inclined, they'd be more excited and interactive with him. So, well, hit my usual time. I normally do not do long streams, even now that I have both hands available. I feel that just doing a 15-minute video is more than enough at one sitting. Now, if I was to just have this overlaid with some music, yeah, I think a stream like this would go much better. If I was to get myself a GoPro and then speed it up along with overlaying it over music, I could do a longer video. Now the thing is, though, is that by doing that, you'd have to do a half-hour video just to get 15 minutes of content. So that's where the trade-off is. So, but like I said, I only like doing about 15 minutes. So I'm going to keep working on this. You guys have a great day. Make sure that you hit the like button before you leave. Also, comments are always appreciated. And subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. And above all else, always remember, life is stressful, but that's why I only take it one dot at a time.